7 forbidden violations of the Codex. Anti-laws that fracture sovereignty rather than merely break rules. Within the sovereign Codex, not all failures are equal. Some mistakes are recoverable, others damage structure. But the forbidden violations are different. They do not simply break principles. They dissolve the internal architecture that makes sovereignty possible. Each violation targets one of the seals and weakens the entire system through collapse of trust, clarity, discipline, or identity. The violation of the hollow word. Making a promise, declaration, or commitment while internally knowing it will not be kept. Mechanism of damage. This fractures seal 2, the blade of truth. When speech and intent diverge repeatedly, the mind stops recognizing its own declarations as meaningful. Self-trust decays. Willpower becomes fragmented. Decisions lose internal authority. The individual becomes someone who can speak, but not bind reality through words. The violation of the parasitic lean. Choosing dependency on a corrupt, manipulative, or self-serving system in exchange for comfort, avoidance, or convenience. This collapses seal I, the throne of self. Sovereignty is replaced with managed existence. External systems begin shaping identity. Decision-making authority is outsourced. Personal autonomy weakens over time. The self becomes governed indirectly through reliance. Rejecting or avoiding clear truth because it is uncomfortable, disruptive, or demands change. This blind seals the watchful mind. Truth becomes optional rather than necessary. Reality distortion increases. Poor decisions become normalized. Manipulation becomes easier to sustain. The mind stops seeing clearly and begins editing reality. Betraying a trusted ally, oath, or sacred bond for personal gain, fear, or convenience. This fractures seal 3, the oath of loyalty. Trust is not just broken externally, it becomes internally unstable. Relationships lose depth, loyalty becomes conditional, isolation increases over time. The individual becomes unreliable even to themselves. Allowing impulse, rage, fear, addiction, obsession, or desire to override principle-based decision-making. This destabilizes seal 5, the forge of discipline. The will is no longer the controlling force. Actions become reactive instead of intentional. Regret cycles increase. Discipline weakens under stress. The self becomes governed by internal weather instead of internal law. Failing to act in defense of what is right, vulnerable, or meaningful when action is required due to fear, avoidance, or convenience. This corrodes seal X, the shield of protection. Strength becomes passive rather than active. Moral confidence erodes. Regret accumulates. Courage threshold lowers over time. Power without action becomes symbolic rather than function. Clinging to outdated identity, beliefs, or behaviors out of ego, pride, or fear of change. This extinguishes seal 30, the flame of adaptation. Identity becomes frozen instead of evolving. Growth stops. Reality outpaces self-concept. Collapse occurs under changing conditions. The self becomes a relic instead of a living system. Structural role of the violations. The 7 violations serve 3 functions within the Codex. 1. Boundary definition. They define the exact edges where sovereignty collapses. 2. Diagnostic system. They allow identification of internal breakdown before total failure occurs. to actions based not on legality or opinion, but on structural impact to the self. Core principle behind all violations. At the center of the system lies a single rule: making a promise, declaration, or commitment, while internally knowing it will not be kept. Mechanism of damage. This fracture sealed to the blade of truth. When speech and intent diverge repeatedly, the mind stops recognizing its own declarations as meaningful. But the forbidden violations are different. They do not simply break principles. They dissolve the internal architecture that makes sovereignty possible. Each violation targets one of the seals and weakens the entire system through collapse of trust, clarity, discipline, or identity. The violation of the hollow word. Making a promise, declaration, or commitment while internally knowing it will not be kept. This fracture sealeth the blade of truth. When speech and intent diverge repeatedly, the mind stops recognizing its own declarations as meaningful. But the forbidden violations are different. They do not simply break principles, they dissolve the internal architecture that makes sovereignty possible. Each violation targets one of the seals and weakens the entire system through collapse of trust, clarity, discipline, or identity. The violation of the hollow word. Making a promise, declaration, or commitment while internally knowing it will not be kept. This fracture sealed to the blade of truth. When speech and intent diverge repeatedly, the mind stops recognizing its own declarations as meaningful. But the forbidden violations are different. They do not simply break principles. They dissolve the internal architecture that makes sovereignty possible. Each violation targets one of the seals and weakens the entire system through collapse of trust, clarity, discipline, or identity. The violation of the hollow word. Making a promise, declaration, or commitment while internally knowing